You may have heard about value and contrast in drawing, but that doesn't mean you know about key. So low key, let's learn about key. To understand key in drawing, we first have to understand value and contrast. So let's start with value. Value is the range from 1 to 10, 1 being white and 10 being black, and all of the grays in between. So we can say a 5 is a middle gray, something around here. 1 is white, 10 is black. This is value. It's a measure of how light or how dark something is on a gray scale. That's value. And we use value to create three-dimensional objects on a two-dimensional surface. Call that value. Now, when we use value in our drawings, there are a number of ways that we can use it. And we can limit ourselves or use the full range. If we use the full range, so if we go all the way from the white of the paper all the way to black, our darkest dark, then we're going to call that a high contrast drawing. A high contrast drawing has whites, the full range of grays, all the way to the darkest darks. It's called a high contrast because the range from the lowest to the highest is very wide. Now, the opposite of a high contrast drawing is a low contrast drawing. Low contrast drawing. A low contrast drawing is any drawing that has a limited range. So it doesn't go from 1 all the way to 10. It's limited. It's a shorter range in some way. And there are a lot of different ways that it can be shorter, but here are the three main kinds. This first kind here is called a high key drawing. A high key drawing has a limited range on this part of the value scale. 1, 2, 3, 4. So instead of going 1 to 10, it's just 1 to 4 or 2 to 5. That's also a high key drawing. A mid key drawing is a drawing that uses it's a low contrast drawing that uses a mid value range. So this might be a 4 to 7 on that 1 to 10 scale. This might be a 1 to 4, 1 to 5, something like that. And a low key drawing, trying to keep things low key here, would be something, maybe a 5 or a 6, up to a 10. So we're only in that dark area for low key drawings. Mid key drawings are in the middle area, and high key drawings are in the high area. You can change your pencils to make it easier on yourself. So for high key drawings, I would recommend H pencils, like 6H, 2H, 10H. For mid key drawings, I'd probably limit them to, let's say, 2H, HB or number 2, 2B, something in the middle of the range. And then low key drawings, you're probably going to want to start at a 2B and go all the way to 12B. Just for completion here, let's say 6H to H. Okay, so we can use our pencils here. A 4H pencil, great for high key drawings. A 6B pencil, great for low key drawings. And the opposite is also true. A 6B pencil will be really bad for high key drawing because it's hard to get light with a 6P. You have to be very, very careful. The 4H would actually be impossible because the graphite doesn't go that dark. So this is key. Key is another way to say a limited value range. And you have 3 different kinds of low contrast drawings: high, mid, and low key drawings. And if you want to use the full range, we're going to call it a high contrast. I hope that helps explain key to you guys. If you have any questions, please do drop them in the comments. I'm always happy to try to provide feedback where I can. Until next time, happy drawing. For more art tips and tutorials, please do follow, like, comment, and share. It really does help me out.